Hello everyone, this is Greg from Mystery Honey. Today is a lovely sunny day. I'm back in my shorts. You know what? It's been probably the best start of a year for me. The bees have caught me off guard because it's been so lovely, but it's not rained virtually at all compared to last year, and it's just the sun's out, all the plants are thriving, all the flowers are out. It's stunning. I'm really enjoying this year, really good. So today what I'm going to do is something quite quick and quite easy. I've ordered 10 imported queens. Yeah, I know I'm trying imported queens again after the failure last time, but I got told it was that particular person's queens that were bad, and I'm going with Murray McGregor's queens. So Murray McGregor is one of the biggest beekeepers in the whole of the country, in the whole of the UK. He's the king's beekeeper now, and he's really well known all over the country. And yeah, some bee farms have said, yeah, don't go with that guy. He has terrible customer service. Go with Murray McGregor. He's got a really good reputation and he breeds the best queens. So I thought, yeah, all right, I'll get 10. 10's not a massive number, and where I am at the moment, I've not moved into my production apiary yet. So I thought, right, I'll just get cracking with 10 nucs with these queens and see how they go. And if they look good, then I'll put them into a full-size hive and introduce them that way. That's easy enough to do. You just combine the nuc with a queenless colony. So I could get the production colonies going that way. So those queens are coming next week, starting from Monday onwards. I don't know what day they're going to turn up, but I need to get those nucs ready. So what I'm going to do today is, I've already done all my inspections midweek last week. I got a half day on Wednesday and I went through all my colonies without a camera, so it meant I could do it a lot faster. Sorry. So I sifted through all the brood boxes and found all the cap brood and all the brood with like larvae and stuff that will within a week be capped. I got to that stage, so I've got all that stuff, put them in a brood box, and I put them above a queen excluder. Shook all the bees off, put them above queen excluder. So that means that all the bees will go through that queen excluder to get to the brood because they need to look after it, and it means that the queen won't be there. There's a benefit of doing this. One, the brood is out of the way, and two, it means that the queen will now have completely empty combs to lay in. So it means that hopefully it'll knock that swarm response down. So there is a possible issue that the queen's pheromone might not reach to where those capped brood frames are. If that's the case, then the bees that make their way up there go, I can't smell the queen, oh dear. And then they suddenly decide that they want to start making an emergency queen cell. That can be an issue. But I'll be looking out for them as I take the frames out of those boxes. So yeah. So today what I'm doing is I'm taking those brood boxes with cap frames, taking them off with the bees all intact, and just putting them straight into new boxes. It's super easy. Great way of making sure that there's no queen in your nucs before you put a new queen cell in. Because I'm keeping the nuc boxes in the same apiary as the mother hive, I'm going to shake more bees in than is necessary. So I'm going to try and shake loads and loads of bees in each of these nuc boxes, because what will happen is that the flying bees will fly off to forage and go back to the original home. And when they do that, it means that the numbers will deplete in the nuc. And you want to have quite a lot of bees in that nuc. Granted, there'll be a lot of young bees that aren't flying yet, but you want a lot of bees in that nuc. So when the queen is released, she's able to have a good start with a good entourage to help her out. Another point is that I was asked recently, how do I light my smoker without it fizzling out? The answer is, you'll always light a smoker and it'll always fizzle out at some point. But I'm going to show you my method of lighting a smoker, and it tends to stay lit for quite a while, probably a few hours, but I always have to top it up after a while. Anyway, I'll do that first before I go in, so it's nice and easy. That might be my short form one, actually. Anyway, right, gonna get cracking. See you in a minute. So this is my smoker. It's a bit battered and like bent. I do seem to drop it quite a lot. This here is the lid off a bottle of rum that I saved because it fit perfectly as a stopper for my smoker. So it's a great way to stop it when it's lit and smoking, and you need to get your smoker in the car and you don't want to smoke yourself out. Right, time to get fuel. So first thing to do is empty anything out that's already been in there. So I've done that. It's completely empty. See there? So now I've done that, what I'm going to do next is add some kindling. So you want to have something like cardboard, something that's easily lightable. So that's what I've got. I've got bits of cardboard. You don't want it a big piece, just like little bits. I'll show you in a second. Just drop it in nice and loosely. You want a lot of air getting through like that. And then I'd get something like this. This is a souffle torch. It's got a good flame on it. Now what I do is I put it on its side and I burn from the bottom. So if you set the torch at the bottom like that, heat always rises. So you may be cooking the bottom one, but the heat's going up and it's starting to burn the others above it. Get some smoke going on. There we go. Nice little flame, it's good. So give it a couple of seconds when that fire's starting to go properly. And I'm going to turn it up on its bottom like that. Okay. So I don't know if you can see. But the flames have gone out. So what we want to do is we want to start that kindling going. So we're just going to slowly move it. What that's doing is it's starting to get the little flickers of flame pumping and burning, get the embers going a bit higher. So start slowly and work your way up. Eventually you'll start seeing like flames flickering around the top. This looks like it's going to start happening any seconds. There we go, I can see some flames coming out. You can see the smoke that's coming out now, there's loads of smoke. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and get this flame as high as we can. So add a bit more kindling. If you need to add a bit more flames by the lighter at this point, feel free. Don't worry about it too much. Just keep getting it going. You want as much heat as possible. You want it to be like a bit of a blast furnace. Now, this smoke's no good for the bees because it's very hot. So I don't know if you can see that, but the smoke is going because there's a flame flickering out there. You can't really see it in this light, it's very light now. Maybe you saw a bit then. Can you see the little flames flickering there? So you want it to be like that, a blast furnace. So the flames are coming out from the top. Alright, there we are. And now what we do is, we just put something over the top of that flame, like that. Try and stop it. And then I use cat litter. Pour this over the top. Oops. Just full to the top, like that. Now as the cardboard burns down, that's going to drop. As you can see, there's still smoke coming through, so we're just going to pump it. Now we've still got the blast furnace in the bottom there. We've staunched it a little bit by putting this over the top. But as you can see, that's lovely thick smoke coming out now. Keep doing this. The reason we do this is because we want the cat litter to be lit up as well. So that is now catching. You can see because of how thick that smoke is. Look at that, it's a lovely plume. Yeah. If you want to, you can push down a little bit. Try not to block off all the air, so you can push down a little bit and add some more cat litter if you want to. But that's great. I'm going to add a bit more cat litter. I did have a scoop, but the missus borrowed it for compost and I've not had it back since, so that's why the pouring is a bit awkward. Yeah. So if you want the flames to go a bit hotter, just go really slow when you're using the bellows. That'll get the flames a bit hotter underneath, and then that'll rise up and start burning the cat litter. And there you are. That is pretty sorted smoke-wise. So what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to smoke it and put your hand over the top without it burning. So I can't feel anything, that's nice and cool. Because last thing you want to do is burn the bees. But yeah, there's no heat there whatsoever, which is good. That's what we want. If you do get to this stage and it is hot, then get some long grass and just place it over the top. Going through the grass cools it down just a little bit more. But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Cool. Alright, I'm going to get my suit on. Now, there are some safety considerations when it comes to lighting a smoker. When you're doing it, try to make sure that you do it in a place that is flame proof. So where like pavement, concrete, a flag, something along those lines, dirt, somewhere where if the flames, like you saw, it looked like a blast furnace, those flames won't flicker and catch something on fire. So I would not recommend the back of your car, maybe the back of a van if it's like a metal based one, but anything with like felt and stuff like that, that's a bit of a no-no. Second one, try not to wear your bee suit. So try not to wear your bee suit, especially with the visor up. If you've got your bee suit hood up and those flames flick up, it will, one, burn your bee suit, which renders it just absolutely useless, and two, it will probably put the fire right in your face, which is never a good thing, you know. And try not to wear gloves either. Yes, it's a bit dirty and a bit messy, but if you wear gloves and say something hot lands on your hand, it could melt onto your hand and cause some damage that way. So whenever you're doing your smoker, try and make sure that you're safe doing it, and yeah, it's still going. Just follow that route. I learned how to do it from someone from the NBU, National Bee Unit, when they came visiting, because beforehand I was just using rolled up bits of like cardboard and like just bits and bobs of like bark and stuff like that I could find. But I always had an issue with bees like being burnt, or whenever I smoked them they'd like crinkle up and I'd be like, oh god, what am I doing? Whereas the guy from the NBU told me to use cat litter, and I did, and it doesn't affect the bees, it just smokes them out the way. They just get the smoke and they go, oh, and walk away. Don't like crinkle up in pain or anything like that, so that's good. So yeah, I'd highly recommend that. There's lots of other things like Hessian and stuff like that you can use, but it all comes down to the same thing. You just need something that'll burn very slowly for over an extended period of time and produce lovely plumes of smoke. Right, I'm going to get my hood on and go inside the apiary now. Oh. So I'm in the apiary now. I'm just walking around. So last week I managed to make 4 nucs up, ready for this next week, but I still need another 6. Now I should have enough brood frames from the brood boxes that I've prepared to make up maybe 12, so we'll see. But yeah, so I'm going to go through these, and these are easy to tell because I wrote a big B on them. Hang on, I'll show you. There we are, a big B, and then some other ones over here. There's a B on that one, and I think there might be a B on this one as well. Yeah, probably not. But yeah, so I've gone through all my hives. I've already inspected them all. There's no swarming, or if something swarmed, then it's already gone. Speaking of which, I've just noticed this, a cluster of bees. I was wondering where I put this queen. So inside there is a queen. You can see her legs there. Hang on. Let's put these out the way. So I took a queen out of the hive that was here, and I put her in a cage. I was going to take her home and I was going to euthanize her because she wasn't doing very well, and for me the most humane way of doing that is by putting her in a cage in the freezer. She should go to sleep and then she'll die, and it's better to me than squishing them, which I think squishing bees, I think it's kind of cruel. I don't like it. You can end up squishing them and leaving the head intact, which I don't like the idea of them being in pain. At least when they go into the freezer, they get cold, they close their eyes, fall asleep, and then they don't wake up. Unfortunately, I didn't know where I'd put her, and I was trying my best to try and find her midweek. And it looks like these bees, who are just foragers flying around willy-nilly, one of them's found the queen, which you can just see there, and then the rest have come and joined her. That's interesting. So they've made like a little mini swarm for her. Oh, guys. Yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, at least I know where she is now. So, I have 2 nuke boxes over there. I'm going to go through them, look for queen cells, because they've been queenless now for about 3 or 4 days. So I need to check, make sure that they're still queenless. I want to knock down any queen cells that they've produced. And then I've got the 2 over here somewhere. I need to check them as well, make sure they've got no queen cells. Other than that, I'm just filling up nuke boxes. So I need to get these prepped, so I need 6 of these. So I'm going to line these up here, and then, yeah, we'll get cracking. 2, 4, And the last one, I need to find one. Let's go with, let's see. Okay, so the reason that I've chosen these nucs in particular, so we've got one maze mole there and the rest are panes, although these are no longer being made. So the reason that I've chosen these is because they have an entrance that can be blocked off, because I will be taking these to my production apiary, hopefully. So that's one of the reasons why. So, right, I'm going to start filling these up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move them over here out the way, take the lids off, take any frames out if there's any frames in them, and then I'll just be taking frames out of these ones that have B on them and putting them in. It'll be nice and easy, hopefully. Right, so that is the last one. So that's number 10 finished. When you're doing these nucs, leave the entrance on vent. It means that the bees inside get used to their surroundings. Just leave it like that for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, so just let them get used to it. There's food in there, so they're fine. There's lots of brood in there as well, so they've got something to do. So they're absolutely fine in there for at least half an hour or so. And then when you open it ever so slightly. So just do a little crack so it's one bee space. Or if they're going on the floor, which I'll show you in a minute, use the queen excluder one like that and put it at an angle like that. So what that does is, if it's on the floor, like these ones over here are, means that mice can't get in because it's going to be particularly weak. So once all those forager bees fly off, this is just going to have young bees in to guard it, and they don't really sting or guard very well at all. So if you put a very small space on, it's much easier for them to sort of like stick their heads in the way, stop things from getting in. Also, when you're doing it, try not to have entrances facing the same way because that can cause drifting. That's just a disease thing. So say this one got disease, it means that these bees don't drift into here by accident and cause these to get disease. It also stops them from drifting into here and going, oh wow, there's some food in here and it's really like weak. Why don't we just rob it out? So they'll fly over and rob it. So best thing to do, put a very small entrance, like small gap for them to get in and out of, and they'll be fine with that. Right, I'm going to turn this around because it's facing the same way as this one. There we go. Right, so that's that one done. I've gone through all the nucs that I've just built, and they don't have any queen cells now. Some had some queen cells built. Sorry if I'm doing this, I'm just trying to keep the bees away from my mic so you're not getting buzzed. I'll have to put some out myself again, hang on. So as I was saying before, so rudely interrupted by these little bees. Go away. Go away. Back again. Go away. Don't know why you don't like my mic today. These don't have any queen cells in now. And when I go to put in queens, so when I get the queens from the post, I'll come over and I'll do another quick check and check for any queen cells. I'll knock them down, because what I want them to be is hopelessly queenless. I want there to be a load of young bees in there and hopelessly queenless, because that gives the best chances of the queen being accepted. So yeah, I'm going to leave that now. There's 2 here that are made in the middle of the week, and there's 2 over there. So I'm going to go through these and see if I can find any queen cells and knock them down. Last thing I want is for them to make some capped queen cells, because that means that the new queen, when I put it in there, won't be accepted readily. So I'm also going to number them. So 1 and 2 are over there. This is 3 and 4, because these are in the order I made them. And I'll go over there 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, let's go and do that. I'm going to keep saying this in this weather because it's absolutely stunning. It's about 28 degrees C now. I'm in the shade and I'm getting too hot. I'm sweating like there's no tomorrow. So what I'm going to say is make sure you rehydrate at all times. Give yourself maybe an hour doing your beekeeping stuff, but go and get a drink. The bees can wait. Even if you're halfway through a hive, just put the frame down, go get a drink. It takes 5 minutes and go back again. All right? Oh, us British beekeepers aren't used to this. It's too hot. I'm not used to it at all. I'm used to it being raining. Can't complain though, can you? So the job now is to go through these very quickly and see if there's any queen cells. If there are, I want to knock them down as quick as I can. I can also get a chance to have a look at what the numbers are like inside here as well, in case they need bolstering. So I'm going to lift this up. I can already see bees at the surface, so that's a good sign. Need my hive tool for this. Oh, it's a bit tight. There we go. Right, that's just a foundation frame. Right, so we've got a little bit of brood on some bees. Same again. So the bees will hover over the brood there and keep it warm. And you can already see in little bits here where they've started to rip open the cells of this honey and start eating it, just because they need some food. What I'm going to do also is I'm going to move this frame of foundation so the body of the bees is quite tight together. Because the numbers are small, I don't want them losing any excess heat. So the numbers are looking quite good actually, look at that, that's quite good. In fact, there's a fair amount of nectar where there was capped brood, so that means that these bees are actually going out and foraging, which is good. Same again. Oh, so we've got a lot of bees here. Now we're also getting some queen cells. In fact, there's one that's actually capped. So I'm going to shake this out. Right. So what we have here is a capped queen cell. So we want these bees to be completely queenless, hopelessly queenless. So it means that they can't create any more queens even if they wanted to, because that will make them more readily accepting of a new queen. Because in essence, these guys, when they are completely queenless and hopelessly so, it means that they cannot create a queen. Their colony is going to die if they don't have a queen, so they are panicking. They don't know what to do. If you put a queen in there after that, they will accept that queen because it's the only way that that colony will survive. It's just built into their DNA. There's a lot of young bees, so you'll see a lot of little fluffy bees walking about. That's from the capped brood that's all hatched. So that's good. Now, in the middle here, we do have some larvae, so they may try and turn these into queen cells, late-term queen cells, when it comes to put the queens in. But I'll have to knock them down before I put the queens in anyway, so it's fine. Nothing to worry about. Yeah, keep vigilant. Try and find any queen cells that you can. Oh. Right. So that's still got quite a lot of capped brood to go in. Got 2 queen cells there. Just dig them out. Yeah, sorted. Right, close it up. Nice and easy. I love dealing with nucs. Oh, super easy, super quick. Oop. Any bees, just try and knock them into the actual colony, because you don't want to lose them off the side. Oh, let's have a look. Right, on to the next one. So I'm going to have to get the strimmer and get rid of these nettles, because for some reason nettles can sting through these surgical gloves, which I was surprised by when they stung me. So, right, so number 2, lift this up and have a look. So the entrance to this one is that way. So that one's facing that way, this one's facing that way. Oh. So lift this up, out the way, give myself some room, budge across. This is the food for him, I think. Oh no, this has got brood on it as well. So I'm going to shake this off and see if I can find any queen cells. Nope. So all this brood is emerging now. I can see a lot of bees coming out, so that's good. Put all these bees over the side. So that's that. Right, and then this one. So there's a lot of young bees walking about, I can see, nice and fluffy. Some queen cells here. Loop, loop. Squish, squish. Don't mess about. If you think a cell is a queen cell, just squish it. It sucks, the idea of killing something like that, but it's all for the greater good, because once you get that new queen in here, this colony will have a brand new lease of life. There's not a vast amount of bees in this one, but oh, they are young. That's good. So younger bees will more readily accept a new queen. That's because they don't know a queen, especially if they've just hatched from the cell. They don't know any other queen. So first queen that you put with them, they'll be like, "Oh, this is my queen." So it's quite good to get rid of older bees by leaving the nuc in the same apiary, because it just gives you the chance of getting rid of those older bees, and it means that it's just young bees left, and they'll accept it. Right, thank you there. Good. So that's good. Only a few queen cells in there. Nothing too bad. I'll put you back in there. Don't lose you. Okay. There we go. Right, sorted. Have I just put my hive tool in there? Nope. I'll put my hive tool. Hive tool. Oh. I put my bloody... I was looking for my hive tool. It's fallen in the feeder, just right in the place where you cannot reach with your fingers unless you've got very skinny hands, which I do not. There you are. I have no idea where that had gone. Right, that's good. At least I found it. Honestly, like, when I die or quit beekeeping, if someone comes over to this apiary with a metal detector, I'm sure you'll find like 20 hive tools just randomly lying about. Right, okay, so that's 1 and 2 done. Let's go to 3 and 4, and then we'll number the others. So those are 3 and 4. So last week when I came, I had a half day. I've been noticing that the queen that was here originally, yeah, she was just not doing anything. She wasn't really growing very fast or at all. She was just really, really lackluster. So what I've done is I've turned that colony into 2 nucs. I found the queen, I removed her, which you saw at the beginning, and and then I've split the frames evenly. And I've got both nucs facing this direction, which was the direction that the hive was facing. So it means that when the bees came back, they had a choice of which nuc that they wanted to go in. I noticed that this one, well, I think it was 3, was getting too many bees, so I swapped them around. So 3 was there originally, I swapped them around. Right, let's have a look. So, I don't know if you can see, but these are considerably more full than the other ones. That's because these are a hive that's been split in half. So there you are. So I'm going to lift this up and we're going to try and find queen cells. I'm going to bring you closer. That's an empty frame. That's fine. I'll shoot you off. I think this is a food frame. Yeah, that was a food frame. Lovely jubbly. I won't have any queen cells on. Right, so I think these were some brood frames, or might be empty as well, actually. As I said, the queen wasn't doing a right lot. But I'm still going to keep an eye. I'm going to shake them off just to see if I can find any queen cells. Can't see any queen cells. Watch out the way. So these bees were actually quite nice. It's just a shame that the queen wasn't doing a right lot. Can't see any more queen cells there, can you? No. So queen cell there, squish. Queen cell there, squish. Any more queen cells? Don't think so. Okay. So there may be an issue with this one compared to the others where I've shaken the bees in. Because this was part of a hive already, it will have older bees in it. So you can see a big collection of queen cells there. So I'm going to shake these bees off. So there will be older bees in this one, so they will not readily accept the queen. So I'm hoping that all this brood that you see here will start hatching out before the queen comes. Right, something else. I really went for it with these queen cells. I'd love to frame a brood like, but oh well. For bees. Let's have a look. So those are drone cells. That's a bit of brace comb. Get rid of that. They're cleaning this up though, as you can see. So when the bees don't have any larvae to feed or anything like that, they kind of get bored and just start doing tasks. So I've found turning a queenless hive into a colony that creates cut comb was really good, really useful, because they just focus wholly on producing the comb and producing the honey, and then at the end I gave them a queen. Yes, everyone was happy, but I made loads of cut comb from doing that, so that was a good one. Right, so that one's queenless without any queen cells. That's good. Let's go to that one. Move you out the way. Okay, so this one has a lot less bees. So as I said, 3 seems to have a lot more bees, so I swapped the sides, so it meant that the bees that were foraging would come back to this one. I don't know if that's taking effect, because what it could be is that all of these are young bees and these are where the foragers are, so all the foragers have flown off, so that's why they're not in at the moment. It's still a considerable amount of bees though, it's still fine. I'm not worried about it at all. So we'll remove that because it's an empty frame. I might have to smoke these guys. So we're looking for queen cells, that's an empty frame as well. There we are. Right, so I can see a queen cell right there, so I'm going to shake the bees off this one and have a look. So we've got 1, ooh, that's gone. These ones up here, get rid of them, get rid of that, get rid of that. Okay, on next. Just see a queen cell there. That was a sneaky one, nearly hidden. Yep. Ah, so, hang on a second. Is that the one with the wire? That is the one with the wire, right. I found my clippers. So these are excellent, especially when you've got wire coming from some frames. So, shake these bees off. As you can see, I've got a random bit of wire here. Ding, 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 ding. So what we're going to do is we're just going to snip that off. Done. You can also use the pliers to sort of twist it away if you want to. If you can grab it, just thread it away. There you are, it's not going to cause any issues now. Sorted. Alright, so we're going to put that back. Really useful to get something like that, especially if you've got a decent knife. It's the one that I've just squashed all the queen cells on. Yes. I don't think I squished that one good enough. Right. This one. Queen cells. Can we see any queen cells, anybody? Nope, can't see any queen cells on that one. It's good. Watch out, get away. I don't want to hurt anybody. Go away. Got a bee trying to sting me now. Remember, if they're trying to sting you, then smoke yourself, don't smoke the bees. You don't move, the bees do. Right. So if the queen's taken by these guys and accepted, this could be one of the strongest ones out of the nukes, which is good. But this is the one with the highest risk of something going wrong. Right, that's that done. So these nukes don't have any queen cells, that's good. So what I'm going to do now is close this up and number the others. Try and make sure that no one's in the rim because you don't want anyone getting squished. There we go. Number 4. Sorted. So in keeping in the order that these guys have been made up, this one is going to be number 5. I'm also going to open it up very slightly so they can get out now. In fact, I'm going to use the queen excluder one just because I want to make sure they're protected from mice. This one is 6. Same again, queen excluder. There we go. This one is number 7. And this one over here is number 8. I'm going to open these entrances up as well. Oh, these bees were dying to get out of this one. Oh, flying out. Oh, let's try this one. Now remember what I said. Now if you look here, you can see that the bees are trying to orientate themselves. They're flying around the entrance, they're all coming out, having to sniff around. This is their new home now. And they're trying to figure out where the hell they are. They may fly up and they'll go to another hive, back to the original one. Some may stay here and just decide, right, this is our new home. There's larvae here that need protecting, I'm going to stay here. we'll figure out the queen situation another time. So yeah, so as you can see, they're coming out, flying around. You'll see them doing lots of little circles around like that, like figures of eights, and then going higher and higher as they do figure of eight, because they're trying to figure it all out. But yeah, so that's good. I'm glad they're coming out. Right, let's do the last two, and then we're done for the day, I think. So this one is number 9. And number 10's over there. And number 10. So this entrance has been open for a while now, so we'll just have a quick look and see what it's like bee-wise. Still quite a lot of bees in there, all huddling in the top, as you can see. So that's interesting. But yeah, we'll lock them down so they go to the comb. But yeah, that's good. Right, so that's them all done. Brilliant. Time to clock off. Hello! Today's Thursday and I finally got the queens. Had a right farce with the Royal Mail. They were due to come at 1 o'clock. Instead, they were delivered at 10 AM when I wasn't in the house. So that was rather annoying, to say the least. But they're here. I'm just trying to wheel them out of the package. Come out. There we are. And there they are. As you can see, little blue dots walking about. That means that the queen is still alive. They're looking all right. A couple of small ones, but it's fine. I think they're all alive as well. I couldn't see any dead ones straight off the bat. I'm hoping that's a blue queen. Yeah. So yeah, they all look all right at the moment, so that's pretty good. Right, so my main job now is to get my bee suit on and get into the apiary. Take those bees in there. They all look okay, and I need to get them in the nucs. Now, another big important thing is I need to go through all of the nucs and make sure there's no queen cells. If there's any queen cells in there, the bees will not accept these queens. So I need to make sure that all the queen cells are gone. So that's my job now. I need to do it very quickly as well, because I need to pick up my daughter in 30 minutes. So the race is on. So first point of order is to separate these bees. They're all stuck together. As you can see, so I need to separate them now. I need to be careful because this plastic is only held very slightly by this other bit of plastic. It's like a little interleaf there, as you can see. So this top panel can come off very easily, so I need to be very careful. So there's a little tag here, so I'm going to try and peel it off now. Another thing is I don't want to undo it and then them all fall everywhere. Okay, so that's looking good. Okay, flip it over. Right, again, I need to be very careful here. It's one free. Just take your time, it's no rush. Well, there is a rush for me, but rushing doesn't help anything. Tell you what, I'll start on these ones over here now. There we go. There we go. Okay, getting there. And these can just tear free. Okay, so get rid of that. So because the plastic panel can be easily cracked off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape around. I'm going to tape around each one of these around like that with some masking tape. I'm also going to put one over where the block is. I'll show you in a second once I get this one. Right, so try not to cover any of the holes for air and breathing. Because that's where hopefully the bees will start passing them food as well. So I'm going to do that with all of these. And then see that there? That's where the bees will help the queen escape. Those are the little entrances there. So one side bigger than the other. That's quite small. I'm not a fan of these ones. I like it where it's just a single thing, but oh well. So what I'm going to do is, just so the bees don't start eating all this fondant away, I'm just going to put a piece of tape over the top of it. Like that. That should stop them from being able to access it. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave the queen in each of these nucs for a few days just to see if she's accepted or not before I start letting the releasing go on. Right. So I don't know if you can see that. So this is the entrance here where the queen will be released. This is much bigger than this one. So what's supposed to happen is that it's supposed to break both of these entrances at the same time. Bees will eat the fondant out of this one, and all of these worker bees here will make their way out of this little queen cage, leaving the queen here. And it'll take longer for them to break through here, where then they'll release the queen. So it's a bit of a slower release. But the issue I find is that if bees can get out, then they'll get in. So I'm a bit worried that the bees will get in, see that the queen's there and go, oh, she's stuck, and then panic and get rid of her. But I don't know, I prefer the ones where it's just a single entrance. People say that a queen is easier to be accepted if there's no workers around her. So you've got a lot of beekeepers stating in their videos that they release all of the workers around the queen and then put the queen in on her own. I don't like the idea of that. I prefer the queen having her entourage, just so if the bees around on the outside aren't feeding her, then the ones on the inside here are. But yeah, I'm quietly confident this is going to go well. Right, last one. Okay, right, that's that done. Right, let's take them across. Right, so I've gone over and I've put a queen on top of each of these colonies. So my job now is to shake the bees down, check for any queen cells, knock them down, and then put the queen in and move on. Oh, there we are. So because these are queenless, they might be a bit grumpy. So the majority of the brood has started to come out. Looking for queen cells, can't see any queen cells. Won't be any queen cells on that one because it's just foundation. No queen cells. No queen cells, queen cutler, nothing in it. Queen cells. No. So this colony, the majority of all these cells of worker brood that were capped have escaped. So this colony is going to be full to the brim with young bees now. There's still some left, but that's good. That's what you want. You want nice young bees. So there's a queen cell right there. Not sure how good it is, but get rid of it anyway. Okay. We're also going to look for eggs, because sometimes the queenless colony, there's loads of queen cells on here as well, sometimes the queenless colony will either attract a random virgin queen who's flying about and is lost, or workers can come out and go, oh no, we've not got a queen, and we've not had one for so long. Tell you what, I'll be the new queen, and then they become laying workers, which really scuffers your plans. But I don't think there's anything else there now. That's good. Right, so I'm going to need two. Where's the largest amount of brood there? So we're going to put the queen where the largest amount of brood is. First of all, let's get the bees in. And then we're going to need a stick. Twig, perfect. So most of these cages have a little ring in it. If you just get a twig of some sort, or toothpick, it's your choice. Stick that in there, and then you've got something that'll hold it between the frames. So what we're going to do is lower it very carefully in between the frames, try and put it near where the brood is. I'm going to press this frame together like that. So it means that the bees will get a chance to smell the queen and say, how are you? You are new mummy. But they are unable to get her out because the masking tape's in the way. So we're going to leave her like this for a few days now, and then we'll come back. What we want to see is we want to see her surrounded by bees, but none of them looking aggressive. Right. That's that one done. You two out of the way. Right, I'll show this one as the last one, and then I'll just do all the rest on my own. It's got a bit of brood on. That's still got a bit of brood on. So the reason that you put right where the brood is, or the capped frames of brood are, is because as that capped brood comes out and hatches, they'll go straight to the queen, and they'll start accepting her. And then if you got some accepting her straight off the bat, then it means that you've got a better chance. Right, that's a really good frame of capped brood there, so we'll put her against that. Yeah. Right, that's one. That's loads of pollen. Yeah, it wasn't any queen cells in this one, that's good. Right, so we're going to put her up here. Where was that capped brood? That's there. Okay. I don't press too hard just in case there is some honey there. Last thing you want is for your queen to be drowned by honey. Okay, that's good enough. Right, on to the next ones. For me, but for you guys, I'll probably just come back when it's been a couple of days and we can release them properly. Right, so all my queens have now been introduced to the hopeless to queenless nucs. So what makes a nuc hopeless to the queenless is that they have no way of producing their own queen. That means that they are in panic stations because they do not have the ability to produce their own queen, and they do not have the ability to, survive as a colony. So when I introduce a queen for them, they're like, oh, thank God we can survive. And that's what I've done. So all these nucs are now hopeless to queenless. There's no larvae, there's no eggs. All the other larvae that's in there is far too old to be turned into a queen or has been capped. So there you are. So that's what you're trying to aim for when you introduce a queen. So I'm going to leave these guys now for today's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, probably 3 days, 2-3 days. And then I'm going to see how they're interacting with the queens. All you do is put them on top of the frames and see what the bees are doing. If they're sort of walking over it, like protectively, then I will pop the tabs at the bottom, probably add a bit more fondant just to increase the amount of time it takes for them to get to the queen. And then I'll put them back in, close them up, and I won't be back for 2 weeks because these bees need as much time as possible to get used to the surroundings, get used to the new colony, and for the bees to accept her. If you go in too early, then they'll kill the queen. It's just how it happens sometimes, and it sucks. So after 2 or 3 days, I come back and I put the queen cage on top of the frames and I look at it, and the bees are trying to get to the queen, but they are arching their bums to try and sting her, or the bees inside. Chances are that there is either a virgin queen in there or there is a queen cell, and they weren't hopeless to queenless like I was hoping. If that's the case, just move the queen to the side, go through the colony, see if you can find that virgin queen, or go through the colony and see if you can see a queen cell. If you can, knock it down and put the queen back in again. The bees shouldn't let the queen die. They shouldn't. It's just the natural response to give the queen food and drink if she needs it, when she needs it. But the longer she is in that cage, the more likely she won't be accepted, just because she will be out of laying for too long. It's a problem that you can have sometimes with imported queens, as I found out. If they're in that cage for too long, then the bees won't accept her, even if she starts laying up a dream. It's just annoying. It's how the bees are. Anyway, I'm going to go now and go pick up my daughter. So I will see you in a few days. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching these videos. It means the absolute world to me. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'll try my best to answer anything and everything. It doesn't even have to be bee related. You can ask me what my favourite dinosaur is. Stegosaurus, by the way. Stegosaurus. Today seemed to go quite well. I managed to get done everything that I wanted to, and there was no surprises. Unfortunately, no stings to the face or to the hands. That's good. If you enjoyed what you saw, please hit subscribe and have a look at my back catalogue. There's inspections from all through last year, and I'm slowly but surely chopping through this year, trying to make sure that I'm getting up to date. Oh, these smaller long form videos are a bit easier to handle. The 2-3 hour ones were a nightmare. I've got 2 Facebook groups that you could join. I've got Merseyside Beekeepers if you're in the area and want to find like-minded people, talk about stuff to do with the region, or maybe getting some deals. So sometimes we can get in touch with some suppliers and get cheaper prices if we buy things in bulk, like jars and feed, bee treatments, you know. If you want something, just put it on the page and I'm sure you'll get 3 or 4, 5 other people joining you. So that's pretty good, especially if you're in the like sort of Merseyside, Cheshire area, that sort of area. Another group of mine is called Nonsensical Beekeeping. It was made as a joke, but it's starting to grow. I've got about 150 people on there now, so that's interesting. I didn't actually invite anyone, so everyone sort of found it and joined. So that's good, you know, it's fun. Thank you again for watching this video. The long slogs, but I hope I throw in some pearls of wisdom and maybe help you fall asleep quickly. I hope to see you guys again soon, and if I don't, I hope you have an amazing day anyway. All right, see you later, guys. Bye-bye.